Hello guys, welcome back to the Cupcake Jemma channel with me, Dane, and we're in Crumbs and Doilies in Soho today, and I'm going to be showing you a cupcake recipe for one that you might have seen over on my Instagram page for chocolate and coconut cupcakes. Now, this is a squishy, moist chocolate chipped sponge filled with a cool whipped coconut cream filling. It's got coconut buttercream swirled with a smooth, silky chocolate ganache. And if you haven't seen it, make sure you're following us over on Instagram at Crumbs and Doilies and at Cupcake Jemma so you can see all of the cupcakes that we do here in store every single week. So without further ado, you need to stop right there, scroll down, and hit the subscribe button, because if you're not following us, then you're not part of the Cupcake Jemma family, and also you'll miss the uploads every single week, and you don't want to be missing them because you get cool recipes like this, and also some extra fun stuff added in as well. So without further ado, we'll get on to the recipe. So it starts with our chocolate sponge. You might have seen Sally, I, or Gemma make this hundreds of times, but I'm gonna go over it for you again. So it starts with the wet ingredients. I've got some buttermilk going into a large bowl here. And if you want the quantities for all of the ingredients that I'm putting in, you can subscribe to our bake club and get a full written downloadable PDF of all the quantities of the ingredients for this recipe. And also, we have just upgraded it so that you can now subscribe annually and you basically get 2 months for free. So go and check that out. Next, I'm gonna put in some vegetable oil. This is just flavorless and adds some moistness. It's the fat in the sponge. And then I've got some cold coffee going in. Just stole this from downstairs, obviously with a takeaway cup. And then I've got 2 large eggs going in. And then we'll give this a whisk together until it's nice and smooth. It's all combined. Next, I'm gonna sift in my dry ingredients. So I've got some plain flour here, all going in, and then some caster sugar. And we've got cocoa powder as well. This is nice and dark cocoa powder. And then I've got a combination of a little bit of salt and some bicarbonate of soda, not baking powder. Those are going in. That will add some more flavor and give a rise to the sponge as well. So I'll sift this in, and then I've got some chopped chocolate chips that are gonna go in as well. And I love this in our chocolate sponges because it just adds a little bit of texture and they kind of melt a little bit as well. So they are also going in. And we'll give this a whisk together until it's a nice, smooth, thick batter. This is a super thick, chocolatey batter. Look at that, super shiny, glossy. It's exactly what we are looking for. So I'll pop the whisk over here and grab my spatula just to scrape down the edges to make sure there's no bits of flour there. That is all good. And then I'm gonna pop it into just a measuring jug, and we're gonna spoon these into our pre-lined cupcake pan. I've already got my oven preheated to 150 degrees, and we bake these a little bit lower than our regular butter-based cupcakes, just because they've got the oil in, and the lower temperature just helps them to rise softly and slowly. So, without further ado, we'll fill these about just over 2/3 full, and I'll get to scooping. The last one. These are going to go into the oven, preheated at 150 for about 23 minutes. Chocolate cupcakes are out and they are cooled, so now it's time to make the filling, which is coconut cream. So I've got some coconut cream here, not to be confused with coconut milk. This is the slightly thicker stuff. And then I've also got some double cream, and I'm just gonna whip the two together until they form soft peaks. Woo, that was quick. Only a small amount though. And then I've just got a reusable piping bag here, and I'm just gonna pop it all into there so it's ready to fill the cupcakes with. This is where I need 2 hands, but I think I can do it. I would usually do this, you know. I'm just gonna pop it up against here. And use that to scrape it in. Good tip for you there. So it's all in the bag, just squeeze this down, and then I've got my apple corer here, ready to core the cupcakes to make way for the filling. So I've got 12 holes ready for the coconut cream. Take the clip off and fill, fill, fill. all filled with the coconut cream. Now it's time to ice them with the coconut buttercream that's swirled with the chocolate ganache. And I've made the ganache by melting some chocolate and butter together. And I've got the butter in here. It's a little bit richer than just our regular ganache with just chocolate and cream, which I'm gonna add the cream now because we need to leave the chocolate ganache to set for a little bit at room temperature until it's a nice spreadable consistency. And doing it this way by melting the butter and the chocolate together will make sure that when you add the cream, it's cold and that helps it to set. But I've got one that I made earlier, which looks like this. It's nice and thick and spreadable, and that is gonna go into the piping bag. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it right now. So I've got a reusable piping bag here that you can get from CupcakeJemma.com. These are the large ones, which is perfect for this. And I've fitted it with this multi-star nozzle, which is an Ateco 866. I know you guys always ask for the nozzle. I'm telling you right now, so listen up. So that's on there. It's a multi-star. It's gonna make these look really, really cool. And then how I'm gonna spread this into the bag, so I'm just gonna take a small dollop of the ganache, plop it into the piping bag, and then just spread it over half of the bag. I've liberally spread my ganache over half of the piping bag, to which I'm gonna add my coconut buttercream, which I've already made by adding soft unsalted butter to my stand mixer with a paddle attachment. I beat it for around 2 to 3 minutes until it's really nice and pale and light and fluffy. Then I added half of my icing sugar in, which I've already sifted, mixing on a slow speed until it's combined, and then cranking it up to a really high speed, whipping it again for around 2 to 3 minutes. I repeat this process by adding the other half of the icing sugar, slow speed, and then crank it up to a high speed. Then I add in some coconut cream until it's a really nice, pipeable consistency. And this is what it looks like. Super smooth, silky, exactly what we want. So I'm gonna add this to the piping bag, and being careful not to kind of squish the piping bag together, because then you've got ganache on the other side, and we've just carefully put it on one side. So in it goes, like this. And the first one that you pipe out might just be kind of all ganache, but I mean, that's okay. So what I would do is just pipe it into the bowl first, just so you can see what it looks like. And you can kind of see in here, it's like half and half on the bag. We'll just have a little check. That looks great. I think it's time to ice. So, twisty, twisty. And let's get piping. I'm gonna start with this one. How gorgeous do these look? Nice two-tone, contrasty, but they're not done yet. I've remelted the extra ganache that I had and popped it in a little squeezy tube. You could use a piping bag, but Sally bought these and she insists that I use them all the time, so I'm using them today. And I'm just gonna do a circular drizzle on top to finish them. Done. Look how cool they look. The shiny ganache and the contrast between the ganache and the coconut icing. Divine. I can't wait to tuck in. Let's go. Wow. Look at that. Oh my God, that was too big of a mouthful. The cool coconut cream filling is absolutely delicious, so decadent, and it's a nice contrast between the rich chocolate sponge as well. The coconut icing is really smooth, and then you've got that rich ganache in there. I don't know if I can finish a big one, and that is like, that's saying something, because I usually eat like the whole of these. Did you see the tres leche cake video? I just finished the whole thing, but I will finish this a little bit later on though. These will be in the shop right here, C&D Soho, all weekend, so make sure you come in, get one, try it, and let us know what you think. And also, I hope you make these too. Don't forget to tag us at Crumbs and Doilies and at CupcakeJemma on Instagram, because we want to see what bakes you are baking from the channel. And also, we've got our bake club, subscribe to that. I told you earlier about the annual subscription. You can basically get 2 months for free. So why would you not want to do that? It's an offer not to miss. And Sally will be back next week with another recipe or a masterclass of some sort. She's been testing a couple of things, of which are tea cakes and a stencil cake masterclass. So it will be a surprise to both of us as to which one's next. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed these coconut chocolate cupcakes. And you know what? I love coconut because I have a story about my granddad, which is totally off-piste, that when he was growing up in Nevis, he used to roll around in like tires through like the fields and stuff, and he used to climb the coconut trees, get the coconuts, take the juice out, pop them back up on the trees so that when people went to pick them, there's no juice in there. Mischievous, right? Well, I get it from somewhere. But that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to make these and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. I'll see you soon. Bye. Ooh. Oh no! Who is it?
I don't know.
Oh. Oh gosh. Not the time.